You should love yourself enough to only give yourself top tier. And you're gonna be happier, and I feel like your happiness is worth it. We just have to be honest with ourselves at the end of the day. You can't hold on to someone that...
And don't take this personal. You know what you've done to me.
Hello, beautiful people, and welcome back to my channel, Simply Kee Samone. If you are new here, I want to say welcome, and if you're returning, I want to say welcome back. Here on my channel, I make videos all about mindset, growth, and lifestyle, and today I am doing something a little bit different. I am introducing a new segment here on my channel called Keep It Real Kee, and I recently posted this on my Instagram and my community tab, asking you all if you would like to basically have an advice column here on my channel, just where I share my input, insights, some advice to some real life situations that you all are going through. Of course, this is going to remain anonymous, but I did get some submissions, so I'm super excited to go ahead and introduce this on my channel. If you are interested, or if you have anything that you would like to chit chat about, or if you would like my input on it, or something that you're stuck on in life, be sure to DM me on Instagram at _Kee Samone. But yes, I'm super excited to go ahead and jump into this today. We sipping some kombucha, girl. I really wanted some wine, but we just gonna keep it cute today while we keeping it real and sip some kombucha. So if you are interested, then go ahead and grab your water, wine, or kombucha, and let's just get into the video. All right, y'all, so welcome back for another video. Like I said, I'm going to be reading some submissions. If you did not send me anything when I did post it, or you missed that post on Instagram, you can always DM me. I'll also leave my email down in the description box. So for future segments of Keep It Real Kee, you can either email me your submission, or you can go ahead and DM me on Instagram. But we're gonna go ahead and get into some things, because girl, y'all got some stuff going on. Y'all got some kind of tough stuff, but don't worry, your good sis is here. So the first one says, losing people that's close to me because of my boundaries. Y'all, this is such a big thing, and I can most definitely relate, unfortunately. Well, I wouldn't say unfortunately. It's not unfortunate. It feels unfortunate in the midst of like that situation happening, but it's very necessary. One of the things that I struggled with in therapy was talking about certain relationships that I had in my life, and how I felt like if I did put boundaries in place that I would lose these people. And one thing that she told me, or reassured me, was even though in the process of setting these boundaries and, you know, voicing your feelings on certain things, especially if it's not something that is going to hurt the person, like it's purely just for you, it really shows you, you know, who truly does care about you. Because in all honesty, whether it's a family member, friend, or someone you're in a relationship with, somebody that you're married to, if they really care about you and they really love you, whatever boundaries that you put in place, they will understand. No matter how different it may look, no matter how things might change, if this person truly cares about you, they're gonna love and honor your boundaries. It really does separate, you know, who should be super close to you in your circle and who maybe needs to be like moved outward. So I definitely feel you. So my advice, or I guess my take on losing people that's close to you because of boundaries, I'm not gonna lie, it's very, very difficult, especially when you care and you love for these people, and you probably have a very long relationship with them. But my take on it is, at the end of the day, you're the one who has to take care of you. These people, whether they love you or not, whether they're close to you or not, whether they're a family member or not, or a friend, at the end of the day, you are you. You are a singular person. You are the one that has to make sure that you are 100% full. And at the end of the day, what it really boils down to is, are you happy? Are you able to take care of yourself? is your cup full 100%? Because you could miss having people in your life or miss having people, that you normally interact with. But I feel like in the long run, how depleted you're going to feel if these people stay in your life and if they're not honoring your boundaries is you really have to outweigh the pros and the cons. At the end of the day, you have you. At the end of the day, when we all go to bed, when we all close our eyes, when we all lay down, we have ourselves. We're sitting with the things that are on our minds, on our hearts, on our souls. You allow heavy people or negative situations or negative people or people that are just overstepping in your life, you are going to continue to get beat down and beat down and beat down. And I feel like whenever you weigh out the pros and the cons, even though it's going to pain you to lose these people or have to separate yourself from these people, and you're going to be happier. And I feel like your happiness is worth it. You should be choosing yourself at all times. I know that is hard. Coming from a recovering people pleaser, I've always thought of other people's feelings first. Like I've never wanted to hurt people's feelings. Like I've always like the person that like avoids conflict. I was always the person that just, brushed my feelings to the side. And sometimes I was brushing my feelings to the side and not even knowing, not checking in with myself, not acknowledging and honoring how I feel. And you're worth that. You have to do that for you first. If you don't do that, they're never going to understand that. One of the really good things is that sometimes it may hurt right now, to them, or they may be upset, but if that's somebody who's really meant to be in your life, a light bulb should kind of go off in your head as to, if this person cares about me, why would this bother them so much? It would show you who needs to be around you, who doesn't need to be around you, who doesn't really care about your well-being. And I feel like if you love yourself and you are working on that self-love, building your self-love, you should love yourself enough to only give yourself top tier. And that includes places, events, people, all of that. You should want the best for yourself. And yes, it's going to hurt. Yes, it's going to feel sad. Yes, you're going to mourn whatever, relationship, friendship that you have with that person. But at the end of the day, looking backward, you are going to be happy that you did. You're going to be happy that you went through and took that step. And if that person is meant to be in your life, they'll come back. They may down the road think about what it is that they did. And they're like, dang, I really understand now. And I feel like if something is real in the first place, it can't be shaken. And by simply putting a boundary in place that is going to help you, and you've communicated this to them and you've let them know, what are some things that they have done, or what are some things that you're now implementing for yourself to better yourself. If they care about you and love you, none of that should matter. It may be annoying for them, but somebody who truly loves you and cares about you, if you tell them something and you keep it real with them, they should have the decency to swallow their pride and be like, you know what, I completely understand and I care about you enough to honor your decision. And if they don't, then they must not care about you that much. Or they do care about you and they're just selfish and they would rather choose themselves instead. And in that case, if they're choosing their self, then that means you should be choosing yourself too. So most definitely, I say keep your head up, stay strong. I know how hard it is. And just know that in the long run, you are going to feel so much better. You're going to be like, okay, I'm glad that I went ahead and cut that off. I'm glad that that's over with, because you are going to feel so much better. I promise you, you're going to have a weight lifted off. It's kind of like a breakup, even if it's not somebody that's romantic. I'm not sure, who you're referencing in your life in this situation, but just know that everything is going to work out for the better. I feel like that you should always honor yourself. You should always choose yourself, because at the end of the day, you only have yourself. Okay. So other people are going to choose themselves. So you should most definitely love and honor and choose yourself as well. Alrighty. So, this is a really, really, really good one. How to navigate an outgrown friendship that's not a mutual decision. I feel like in this season of life, especially, well, actually, really in any season of life, in life, we're constantly growing and evolving, or you should constantly be growing and evolving. And everybody does this at different rates. Everybody goes through different things. Everybody's lens on life is completely different. So it is understandable to outgrow someone or feel like you don't have as much in common anymore, or just feel like you may not relate on the same levels. And a lot of people, when you're elevating and when you're growing, there are going to be a lot of people around you that are not doing the same thing. And it's really sad, because if you're staying stagnant in life, it's kind of like, what is the purpose? It's a really sad realization that I also have had to come to, which is that everybody is not in the business of growing and evolving and, you know, getting better, changing. That's just the evolution of life. I mean, like, when you look outside and you see a small bush or a small tree, over the years, that tree is going to evolve. Over the years, the leaves are going to change colors. The leaves are going to fall off. They're going to grow back. It's going to get bigger. The trunk is going to get girthier. Like, everything changes. And that is just a part of life. And if you feel like that you have a friendship that is not serving you in certain ways, or maybe it's, you know, it just, this season of life, it just does not resonate, you may not have to necessarily cut the person off. You maybe could place them in a farther out layer of your circle. Like, let's say this person is like one of your best friends, or somebody that's in your immediate close friend circle. Maybe you don't have to cut it off, because I get weary when it comes to cutting people off, especially if they necessarily haven't done anything wrong. I just don't feel like that we click for real, or I feel like we don't have that much in common, or I feel like we're only around each other when we turn up, or, you know, you only come to me for certain things. Anytime that I feel that pull, I'm the type of person to just place you over here. I may not cut you off, but I'm gonna place you over here, especially if you haven't done anything wrong. Now, if they've done something wrong, then okay, yeah, we just gonna have to get over it and figure it out and just have to mourn that friendship. But my advice would be to communicate with this person. I would definitely say communicate. You know, if there is specific areas in your friendship where you feel like you all are clashing, or, you know, not really meshing well, I would bring it up if you feel called to bring it up, if you feel like it's important enough for you to bring it up. But if you want to be done with the friendship, you know, altogether, I would say just slowly kind of back away, slowly place this person somewhere else in your life where you can love them from a distance and you don't have to be in close contact with them. If they do, you know, come up with a rebuttal, because most people are going to be like, hey girl, you acting funny, like, what's up, what's tea, then I would just communicate directly. And unfortunately, you know, it is going to be difficult, because not everybody is going to take that well. People sometimes feel like that we should just remain friends because we've known each other for, you know, 15, 20 years or so. If somebody is not serving you in a way that you feel is feeding your soul, you know, feeding your energy in a positive way, they're just not meant for this season anymore. People come in your life for a reason, a season, a lifetime. I truly, truly do believe in that. I can tell you that it's definitely going to be hard. I know that you're probably going to feel bad and it's going to feel weird, but we just have to be honest with ourselves at the end of the day. You can't hold on to someone that you've outgrown. That's just like being in a marriage and, you know, you've grown and you've evolved, and the person that you're married to is staying stagnant. Are you going to stay married to this person and be unhappy and be unsatisfied? No, you owe it to yourself to have meaningful connection. You owe it to yourself to be in a circle of like-minded people or women or friends. You owe it to yourself. Again, what I like, the advice that I gave in the last tip, you owe it to yourself to give yourself, top tier experiences, top tier friendships. And I'm sorry, but choose you. It may be a difficult pill to swallow. It may be that that person cannot understand. And if you end up being a villain in their story because of it, I honestly wouldn't worry about it, because as long as you do it in a tactful way, as long as you do it and, not in a malicious way, what can they say? You know what I'm saying? What can they honestly say? Having dead weight on you can sometimes keep you stagnant. Having someone around you that does not think in the same ways, or, has the same vision for life, it can affect people in negative ways. It can keep you from attaining the things that you really want to attain, because you just have that energy around you. I feel like that the transference of energy is very real. And if you're around certain energies or anything that you have outgrown, you should most definitely distance yourself. So I definitely hope that that works out. Almost all of these are about separating from people, boundaries, cutting off someone, because that stuff is hard. That stuff is hard. I know. Starting over after a failed relationship, relearning myself and prioritizing me. I'm proud of you for even saying and acknowledging that you want to relearn yourself and prioritize yourself, because normally, or not normally, but sometimes or oftentimes when us as women get out of relationships, we're so hurt and we're so broken that we are looking for someone else to fill that void, or we're looking for something that's going to fill that void, instead of getting to know ourselves and instead of taking time to love on ourselves. So first of all, kudos to you, baby. Kudos to you, because when you take that time to relearn yourself and prioritize yourself, you honestly glow up. I'm telling you, after a breakup, that is the glow up. Like, that should be your glow up season. I don't know what it is about breaking up. I don't know what it is about a failed relationship, but it really, once you get over the sad part, once you get over the, the crying, the tears, the stress, the anger, once you get over that and you finally come out of that, and that light is shining on you, and you wake up one morning and you look in the mirror and you look at yourself and you like, damn, you really that bitch. Like, you're really her. It's time to put your best foot forward, relearning yourself and prioritize yourself. Some tips that I have is definitely to experiment with your hair, experiment with different clothing, experiment with different activities that you can do alone. I personally love taking myself out to eat. I love going to coffee shops. I love, just experimenting with different things by myself. I'm not sure if you have any anxiety around going out in public alone or doing things alone, but I highly suggest getting into some sort of activity alone, at least once a week or every other week, doing something that is going to bring you joy by yourself. I would say also make sure that you're prioritizing self-care, because I'm telling you, when you look good, you feel good. So if you making sure that you're doing them eyebrows, and you don't even have to go spend no money. You don't even have to go spend no money, because I've been doing a lot of my self-maintenance by myself, except for my nails. I can't let go of my nails. I'm sorry. I want to do my nails by myself so bad, but I love that. That's my me time. Making sure you're keeping your brows together, making sure you're keeping your hair together, making sure, that your feet are together. Make sure little things like shaving, little things like, putting on a little bit of something. I don't know if you wear makeup. Today I got a light, no makeup look, but just going the extra mile to make sure that you look good so that you feel good. I would say definitely, keep yourself active, keep yourself busy, but not too busy to the point where you are distracting yourself from the breakup, because then you're just burying the hurt feelings, you're burying the sadness, and at some point in time you're going to get triggered again and it's going to come out. So make sure that you are taking the time to be mindful, feel your feelings, understand them, and just kind of revisit certain points of the relationship where you feel like that you could change for the better in the future. Figure out why certain things didn't work out, or like if there was something on your end that you either allowed. Really go inward and figure out why that trait resides in you. Figure out why you allowed certain things for your ex-partner to do. Healing is going to be your biggest thing, okay? I would definitely suggest either therapy if this was like major, like many years, you may need therapy. But I would definitely say just journaling, praying heavy. I'm telling you, talking to God will definitely give you the peace of mind that you need. It would definitely be the person that you need to be there with you when you're feeling lonely, or when you're feeling low, or when you're feeling like you're not worthy of being loved, if you are even feeling like that. But those are definitely like my main tips. Just experiment with your look, just to, you know, get yourself excited again to look in the mirror. Not saying that you're not excited to look in the mirror, because girl, you fine. But just like revamp yourself, reinvent yourself, relearn yourself, heal from whatever it is that came out of that relationship. And there's no time limit on this. I mean, some people, if you're in the relationship, sometimes the relationship is over before it's even over, honestly. So you may have already started this process while you were still in the relationship, but take as much or as little time as you need. There is no time limit on healing. There is no time limit on starting over. But I would definitely say just take the time to touch on all those areas. You know, have fun by yourself, do self-care, do the inner work, experiment with your style, experiment with your look, and just continue to be you. You're going to evolve and you're going to grow. And from all of those things, you're going to attract something greater. You're going to attract someone greater. You're going to attract someone who is attracted to the new and improved you. And we want to elevate. We don't want to get in relationships with the same people over and over again. And I don't mean like the same person literally, but the same traits, the same personality, the same actions, the same situations. Like we don't want to go backwards. So if we elevate ourselves, then we can attract elevated persons. Okay, life as a Black millennial veteran, I feel like we get judged the most in vethood. Girl, yes, we're literally 30 years old and we're retired from the military. Veterans range from any age. You can be 22 and be a veteran, and you have a 50 and 60-year-old veteran looking at you like, first of all, commend yourself and validate yourself, because anybody who signs their name on that line, and I actually get kind of, I don't know, I feel like this is kind of like a little trigger for me, because I think that people only rely on like their own experience or how long they did something, when they went through something or whatever. But I feel like if you sign your name on the dotted line, I don't care how many years you in, I don't care how young or how old you are, everybody has their own struggle, whether it was physical, mental, emotional. The military is a lot. Any branch. I mean, I don't know about all branches, but I could speak for myself. I was in the Army for 8 years, and everybody's experience is different, and nobody can tell me nobody can judge me for being a young veteran. Nobody can judge me for choosing myself. And no matter the length of service, I serve this country. There's only 1 or 2% of this country that serves, period. So for that, I feel like they should be commending you and, you know, looking at you as a brother and a sister, and not as, who does this young girl think that she is? The judgment, I do feel you though. The judgment is real. You know, going into different establishments, whenever you're getting like your license plates, or whenever you are like getting different ID cards or the different benefits that we have available to us, I definitely get it. I feel you, because when I go to the VA for my appointments, it's all like aunties, uncles, older brothers and sisters, I should say, and they're side-eyeing me like, what the are you here for? Honestly, I keep tunnel vision, and I just remind myself that I earned the title of veteran, that I made a sacrifice just like everybody else in this room. No matter if it looks the same as your sacrifice, it doesn't matter. Because just joining itself is a sacrifice. Just always remind yourself of the sacrifice that you made, and no one can take that away from you. No one can judge you for it because you chose yourself, or, you know, because you felt like that your time in service, like that was enough. That was enough. There is nothing wrong with that. I feel like serving in the military is one of the hardest, most selfless, most greatest sacrifices that you can make. And I'm so proud of my service. I'm not going to say that everything was peaches and cream. I'm not going to say that, you know, everything was perfect, but I am very proud of my service. And if you're proud of your service, I feel like you owe it to yourself to ignore them folks. Ignore them folks, because they hating. The judgment, when people judge, it's because they're upset at themselves. People are upset at themselves when they judge. People are often, they're either jealous or they're mad at something within themselves. I feel like when I've had conversations with older people, whether they were veterans or not, they are often commenting on, you know, how the young people are doing this, how the young people are doing that. But honestly, millennials as a whole, we are not accepting anything less than what we deserve and what we want. So once our time is up for something and we decide to choose ourselves, that's what we're going to do. That's what I love about the millennial generation and the Gen Zs, because we are very smart. We're highly intelligent, and we do not take no shit. Okay. We do not take any shit. Millennials and Gen Zs, out of there. Okay. We're the ones that are breaking the cycles. We are the ones that are breaking out the norms, and that's okay. I feel like older veterans, or just older people in general, have a certain mindset and way of life, and they can only understand from their lens, from their perspective, from their life experience. And if they're upset because they couldn't be a veteran at your age, oh well, I'm sorry. I can't change how your life went, and you can't change how your life went. So what are you mad at me for? I just pray for them, because what are you mad at? What are you judging me for? Just to sum that up, because I feel like that brought up a little emotions in me, just because I relate so heavily. Anything and everything that we have or that we benefited from, we earned it. So just remind yourself that you earned the title of veteran. Okay? So you, like everybody else, you deserve everything that you have. You deserve to be in the position that you are in. You worked hard, and that is all you can do. And they can go kick rocks. Okay? They can go be upset somewhere else, because why is you spreading that funky negativity? Child, no. The last one that I'm going to do, again with the cutting off, it ain't nothing to cut that. Y'all remember that? Oh my God, child, I am showing my year of graduating high school, 2011. Y'all remember we used to be in the club? It ain't nothing to cut that. Oh, cut that. Oh, cut that. Oh, okay. Embarrassing. Alrighty. Advice on cutting off family. Damn. So y'all cutting off friends and family? I feel it. I feel it. Okay, so advice on cutting off family. So this is something that I am I don't like confrontation, and cutting off family is so different than cutting off friends, because this is your blood. These are people who you are supposed to inherently love, who you are supposed to love no matter what, who you are taught to. This is your uncle. What do you mean? This is your dad. What do you mean? This is your mom. What do you mean? This is your sister. What do you mean? This is your cousin. What do you mean? But my whole thing is, you still have to choose you, even if it's your family. That's how we stop generational curses. That's how we stop generational patterns. I won't say generational curse. I know some people feel very sensitive about the whole generational curses thing. but generational patterns. Because when you look back, these patterns or these situations or these types of interactions happen generation after generation after generation. Now, I don't know why you have to cut off this family member. I don't know how serious the situation is. I don't know what the circumstances are, but what I do know that is, in the Black community, in Black families, it is taught to you that no matter what, you're supposed to honor and love your family, no matter what they do to you. And I feel like that's bullshit. I'm just gonna keep it straight up. I feel like that's bullshit. I feel like that if your family loves you, just like anybody else, your friends, anybody, that they should be able to hear you out if you have an issue with something, that they should be able to listen to you. And if they're stuck in their ways, you may have to just find a way to interact with them without interacting with them. Like, find a way to not let them affect you. But I do know that that's very hard. And it seems like from this message that you already made your decision and that you are like, nah, this ain't gonna work. You may have to miss a couple of family events. You may have to miss a couple of barbecues. You may have to miss a couple of family functions, but honestly, it has to be done. I'm not gonna sit up here and say, oh, sorry y'all, my camera died. So if the lighting changed, if the angle changed, my bad. But I'm never going to advise someone continue to be in contact with, continue to interact with a family member that they just truly feel like that they cannot handle, whether that be mentally, physically, or emotionally. No, I'm not going to say that, because your mental health and your emotional health is important. At the end of the day, like I've said throughout this video, you have to choose you. You have to be the one to say, look, this is where we're having the disconnect. This is where I'm coming from. And as long as you come from a place of love and calmness and, directly explaining, and they still don't understand and they still don't get it, you have to make that decision for yourself, because family is family. And again, as Black people, as people of color, we are taught to deal with this, deal with anything, deal with it, because this is your blood. You either gonna be in their life or you don't. But you have to value yourself and love yourself and want different for yourself, and change those patterns that are going on in your family. Change those patterns, for your personal family. Like, you have to look out for your personal family. You, like, your immediate family, like your spouse, your kids, your immediate circle. That's your first priority. That's your first priority. So if there's something else outside of that just happens to be in your extended family, unfortunately, it's going to be tough, but you either have to communicate it or move along. And it's going to be tough. I would definitely say pray on it. I would definitely say, ask God for guidance on it. But since it is family, depending on the situation, I would communicate first, just to see, because you never know if this person is open to hearing you out, open to just hear where you're coming from. And when you are confronting them, I would make sure that you're using I statements, make sure that you're not, attacking in attack mode, even though sometimes people deserve it. People can't hear whenever you are giving them the business. They may deserve the business for sure. But I'm a firm believer in being the bigger person. I'm not going to let people bring me down to their level. So if I'm in a highly emotional state, I'm going to make sure that I get myself together. And sometimes I've even written stuff down and, gotten my thoughts out on paper to know this is what I want. This is what I've been feeling. This is what's been on my mind. That way I can convey a very clear message to you. And the only reason why I'm saying this is because, for family purposes, just because it is that hard, just to make sure that you're not doing something that just to make sure that you're not doing something that you don't necessarily have to do. Because again, you never know. They may be like, you know what? I hear you. I hear you, I see you, I acknowledge you, and what can we do to make this better? Because I don't want to lose you in my life. And then on the flip side, you have the, well, what you want me to do about it? What you want me to do about it? And in that case, I would highly, highly say choose yourself. And it's going to be hard, but cutting off family is cutting off family. You can love them from a distance. You don't have to carry hate in your heart for them, but depending on the situation, it is imperative that you take care of yourself. It is imperative that you choose yourself. It is imperative that you choose yourself for your own personal family. It is imperative that you choose yourself just for your mental clarity, your emotional health, just so that you can move throughout life. Because if we continue to carry the weight of negative things that, you know, go on in our family, we're just reinforcing those generational patterns, those generational curses, and it's going to continue to move down to our children and their children and their children and their children. And in this generation, millennials, we're breaking that shit. Like I'm not playing. Like, me and my wife, we're doing things differently. That is the best advice that I can give you. Communicate, and if that doesn't work, then you know what you have to do. That's going to tell you exactly what you need to do. All right, beautiful people. So that wraps it up for this episode, or this segment of Keeping It Real with Kee. I'm trying to figure out if I want to call it Keep It Real Kee or Keeping It Real with Kee. I really liked Keep It Cute with Kee too, or Keep It Cute Kee. I don't know. Let me know down in the comments. Thank you all to everyone who has submitted. I will make sure that I create an email for future episodes or future segments of Keep It Real Kee. And I just thank you all for trusting me with your situations. I really love that everybody is growing and evolving and choosing themselves and loving themselves and just really being the person that you need to be for you. It's such a beautiful thing. And the cycles that we're breaking, you know, the lessons that we're learning, the mindset shifts that we're having, it's imperative. And we all want to be happy. We all want to live happy, long, healthy lives. And this is where it starts first. It starts in the mindset. It starts with our, you know, our interpersonal relationships. It starts with our relationships, our friendships, our family, all of those things. So always be sure to check in with yourself. Thank you all for sharing space with me today. If you enjoyed this video, please make sure to give it a big thumbs up. Leave me a comment down below. Do not forget to hit that subscribe button, turn on your post bell notifications so that you'll be notified every time I post a new video. And also do not forget to slide on over to Instagram and follow me there at _Kee Samone. And yes, I will just see you all in the next video.